84 Hoops crew, Valkyries fans, Valhalla, V's up in the chat. It's your girl Lils, aka Lily Like the Flower, and this is my Valkyries only episode, video, vlog. If you don't know, now you know. Every week I drop a vlog talking about all things WNBA, and then the vlog after is all things Valkyries, because that is my home team. That is who I represent, as you see from the gear back there. Yes, that's an LA Sparks jersey, but it's not just any LA Sparks jersey. It's the Lisa Leslie from the inaugural season, signed by the Lisa Leslie, whom I met almost 30 years ago. Go check out that vlog where I break down my journey with women's basketball, hoops, sports in general, but also how I fell in love with the WNBA. Players like Lisa Leslie, how I met them, went to games in the inaugural season, and just sharing my collectibles, my experience with sports myself, when I played, when I wasn't playing, and just that journey into now adulthood and how we got here with the 84 Hoops crew. So please check out that story time vlog. It was a good one. I'll leave it in the description as well, because I feel like I really poured my heart out into that one, and I really do want people to get to know me more on a more intimate level. I know I'm not sharing everything, but from a women's sports standpoint, those are the beginnings of what got me here today. So I hope you enjoyed that vlog. But for now, we're talking all things Golden State Valkyries. So if you're Valkyries fans, what up? V's up, okay? If you're not, stick around. Let's have some dialogue. Let's conversate, okay? Because right now, as of August 11th, Tuesday, August 11th, it is a little bit after midnight. We're working the late shift, okay? The Golden State Valkyries are currently in second place, 2 games ahead of the Las Vegas Aces, who are in third, 2 games behind, well, it says 3, but 3 games behind the Minnesota Lynx, who are currently in first place, but have also clinched that very first spot in the playoffs. Woo! Okay, so my Golden State Valkyries are currently in second place. We've been flip-flopping with the Aces. I'm not surprised. I just did a whole vlog with my hoodie up because Asia Wilson, we know when she has that white tee and gray sweats on, no games are to be played. It is game time, not play time. But last week, she wore a black hoodie with it zipped all the way up, all black, head to toe, no logos. And to me, she put the whole league on notice with that. And the Aces, although they're in a bit of an adjustment period themselves, they've still maintained top 1 through 3 all season. So I'm not going to discount them for anything. Okay, we know what happened last year. They were one of the worst teams in the league last year and turned that around. But anyway, this is not about them or anyone else but my Golden State Valkyries. First and foremost, I went to a game earlier this week. Well, technically last week, because this vlog was supposed to go out on Friday, but I had a dental emergency, which prevented me from recording any content after I got back from that game, because it happened right after the game. But I want to show you guys what I got at that game. I went to the Valkyries game against the Toronto Tempo here in the city, back to back. Well, on Sunday and then on Tuesday. So I went to the Tuesday game, and I don't know if you guys knew this. If you're not a Valkyries fan, you probably didn't know, but Valkyries fans, we knew about that blue court. And it's one of those, like, am I the a-hole? Because ultimately, yes, Chase is the name of our arena, which we have deemed and now call Valhalla. So Chase is the name of the arena in which the Golden State Valkyries play in, so that they are one of our main sponsors. There are banks all over the arena, so if you bank with Chase, there's ATMs everywhere. They also decided to sponsor the past 2 games at home where Toronto was playing us, which meant, and we were all kind of blindsided by this because I kept seeing blue on my timeline, And I'm thinking this is, Chicago Sky. We're not playing them, so it can't be. What is going on? And as the day went on, Bahala turned Chase blue. To me, it looked like the Chicago Sky colors. It looked like a text message bubble. I was not happy with it. And I even made a post about it that kind of did some numbers. And am I the a-hole? Because I later found out, one, this is not forever. It was a 2-game promotion for Chase. And they just used the Chase colors, which, okay, it is what it is. But I later found out that every free throw that was made was going to be $1,000 to, it was going to be donated to a fund. And then when I was at the game, I later found out, when the Sunday game ended, they announced it was for every shot made. And then when I was at the game on Tuesday, I was discussing it with my best friend, and we were both kind of like, gosh, we're the problem. Like, we did all that complaining. She knew nothing. She thought it was going to be permanent. She had no idea that every shot made was being donated. So my issue was mostly like, whoa, this is jarring. But 2, why didn't they put more emphasis in the donations part of it all? Why wasn't there more conversations about, or why didn't they lead with like in bold letters and in crazy fonts, like every shot made, 1,000 baskets done? Or why didn't they have a player? Maybe they did. I'm sorry. Forgive me if I missed it. I try to look at every piece of content that the Valkyries drop, but I didn't see any players talking about, hey, Valks fans, for every shot made, we're donating $1,000 to this fund. And anyway, Blue Court Gate had its time and had its moment. It was only 2 days. I did get to see it in person, in real time. I experienced the blue court. I let my guard down once I found out that every shot made was going to the let me look it up because I don't want to get it wrong. Chase Center Valkyries every shot made donation. So it was to the Golden State Community Foundation. So $1,000 to the Golden State Community Foundation for every shot made by the Golden State Valkyries. Can you guys guess how much money was raised during this 2-day event that many of us were complaining about? I live in a crazy alley, but so excuse the noise outside. But let me know what you guys think was donated. 3, 2, 1, Jeopardy music. Okay. $98,000. Now, was your guess close or was it way off? By Sunday, it was at $49,000. By the end of game 2 against the Toronto Tempo, they had raised $98,000 for the Golden State Community Foundation. I'm sorry, did I say fund earlier? Let's look up the Golden State Community Foundation. Here we go. What does it support? Again, am I the a-hole? The Golden State Community Foundation supports education and youth development to promote thriving students, schools, and communities. In fact, I think I need to donate to this just for being a complete jerk for that whole weekend, talking crap about that court. But at the same time, it's like, whoa, that was jarring. Why did we have to go so dramatic with it? I mean, I guess it worked. We were all talking about it. It was in the headlines. It made the news. It was a trending topic for about 48 hours. But again, I just wish there was more emphasis on the donation aspect of it all. So those are just my thoughts on the Blue Court situation. And I'm just glad that it's gone. But during that game, there was a giveaway. And I was able to pick up Let me try not to, let me turn off the, oh, you can't see it. Well, I'm trying not to get myself in there. There we go. But I was able to get the giveaway. It was a collectible pin set, one with the Valkyries logo. Oh, there we go. That's perfect. With the Valkyries logo, and then one of Violet. Oh, duh. Let me just take it off. Now you guys can see it. You see that? And look who's the sponsor. Chase Freedom. And I do bank with them. But part of me was like, if I have to look at this blue court, you guys should at least refund me all those bank fees that you charged for maintaining, just having a checking account. But it's okay. I'll settle for this, okay? But that's staying here. I'm not selling that or giving that away. I only got one. If I had gotten two, maybe we could have done something, but it's okay. So the Valkyries ended up winning both games, which is amazing and has, kept us in the conversation because of our defense, our performance. One thing about Coach Nakase is she don't play. She does not play. And that light is very bright. There we go. She does not play about her team and the assignment, because to us, watching the game, we see the dub. We see these dynamic plays, the 3-point shots, the driving in the paint, the block shots. To us as fans, that's enough, right? Especially when you're in the winning column. But when I watch, and this is the most WNBA basketball sports period I've ever invested in. I never used to watch press conferences. I never used to, unless it was like the finals or the playoffs, and the Warriors were in it. But aside from that, I wasn't watching it for every single game. I wasn't looking for the highlight reels. I wasn't looking for other content creators in this space. I wasn't this invested. But the Valkyries have, I am consumed. It is for sure my personality. The Valkyries are my personality. Like when people say, you ain't gotta do all that. I do. Okay? But I'm watching these press conferences and I'm listening to the players play, and they are just all on one accord. You can just tell they're bought into the system. They're in it. And they get down on themselves as well. Even when they do win, they're grateful. They're glad they had a great game, but at the same time, they realize they didn't execute on the plan thoroughly. They hear their coach yelling at them and they take that to heart. And I know all players across the league are the same way, but it's how you react and respond to that when given that feedback. Are you going to get small, shrink, and clamor? Or are you going to rise to the occasion? And playoff championship caliber teams rise to the occasion, no matter how good or bad it is. Even keel. And that's something that I've noticed with the Golden State Valkyries in their press conferences, in their play, in their interviews, in their articles, is it's just even keel. They've built a chemistry on and off the court, which is so important, which is something I talked about with that I see in the Washington Mystics. They have been my sleeper team all season. And the fact that they've jumped from bottom 10 to now 6th place just goes to show how much chemistry on and off the court makes a big difference when you are lacking in other areas. And to me, the Washington Mystics have created depth. They've created this run. They're on a 7-game winning streak right now because of the heart that they have and the love that they have for each other, mixed with the high level of skill that they possess in their players and their coach. They want it for each other. And when you're playing selfless basketball like that, it shows on the court. And I think that's why the Valkyries have sustained this long and done so well in the past couple of seasons. It has only been 2 seasons, not even a season and a half. And the fact that they've maintained top 6 and above is just remarkable. But it doesn't go without calling out. You didn't do what we asked you to do. You did great. Kudos. But I asked you to do this way. And if you can't execute on that plan, we're not going to be able to move forward, not in unison. And I see that, I hear that in the press conferences. And even when the media tries to encourage Coach Nakase and like celebrate the great plays and just overall team dynamic and celebrate what they've achieved so far, she just seems very all or nothing, just cutthroat. Like, no, we want to go out there and kill. And no, they killed us tonight. Knowing we just won by like maybe 20 points or something. No, they killed us tonight is what she'll say. And I love that because I need that in my life. I am optimistic to the 100th power. I am the delusional, optimistic, there's good in everything type person. So it's difficult for me to absorb. I wouldn't call it negativity. I would just call it, maybe it's like a lack of being realistic. Let me know in the comments what I'm trying to say, because she is very, she's a great coach. I think that's just what it is. She's a great coach and knows how to get it out of her players. But she also takes accountability, which is something I love about Coach Nakase's, because she doesn't blame the players. She never down talks anyone, no matter how good or bad of a game they had. She always gives props to her players when it's due. It's not always like, well, we didn't execute this plan, so we suck. Or they should have went a little harder. They suck. No, it's never that. It's never that. It's very much encouraging. She uses the word proud a lot, which I respect, because it was in the beginning. If you watch her press conferences from the very beginning, and she was very much in celebration of every player, and she still is. The word proud doesn't go over my head when she uses that word. But I know she's getting into a different mode right now. So her assessment, from what I gather, is now very much, it's kill season. Forgive me for saying that. But I just feel like that's the mode she's trying to get everyone to be on. And whether you're a Valkyries fan or not, I think it's something to be put on notice about. So we shall see. A lot of season left. We also have the FIBA tournament approaching. So who on the Valkyries are playing? No one on the Valkyries are on Team USA except for our coach. Coach Natalie Nakase will be an assistant coach for the World Cup. So she'll be representing Team USA. The national teams, let me pull it up real quick, because, France, Bahala Europe, whatever you want to call it. Let's see, World Cup roster. Well, anyway, Janelle Solon and Gabby Williams are going to be playing for Team France. We all know how they almost beat us in the Olympics a couple years ago. That's how I was introduced to Gabby Williams. I ain't going to front. I didn't know who Gabby Williams was until the Olympics, because if you go back and watch my 30-year anniversary WNBA vlog that I just posted, I talk about my journey with basketball and how there was a big gap where I was just living life, and I always had the W like in my peripheral, but it wasn't a priority. It wasn't at the forefront of my life. So I didn't get to know a lot of these players until the past like 5 to 8 years or so. And it wasn't until the Olympics that I learned who the F Gabby Williams really is, okay? And I've been a fan ever since. And the fact that we got Gabby Williams at home, I ain't got to watch these other games to keep tabs on her or to watch her play, because her style of play to me is just, she's so smooth. She's so smooth. You can't deny the fact that Gabby Williams is one of the smoothest players on the court, but let's not discount her defense. She, to me, she has been in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation, but to me, she should be the Defensive Player of the Year. But you have to consider she is going against players like Asia Wilson. Maybe they'll do like a co-defensive player of the year situation again. And it could be Asia and Gabby. I'll be okay with that. Last year I wasn't okay with it. But this year, if that's the situation, it is what it is. Because they always talk about how guards don't get that award. And if I were to, nominate someone else, or maybe, they'll go on like the all defense team for the league or whatever it's called, Azzi Fudd, 100%. Her defense has been outstanding. We all know she can shoot, but her defense, watch Azzi Fudd when she plays. Her defense is supreme team, okay? Those UConn girls can play ball. But overall, the Golden State Valkyries right now have been excelling. I don't know who said it, but someone was like, I don't know, I think they were just preying on their downfall. They were like, yeah, they could just slip. They could slip to the bottom. You just never know. I'm like, come on. I'm not saying it's not a thing. It could happen, aside from Minnesota, it could happen to anyone. Yes, I get that. But that was the first thing you were going to say after this tremendous, like, how they've been doing this past season? Like, anyway, everyone's different. Everyone's a fan of other players, but it is what it is. But before we wrap up, I do want to talk about how I was very fortunate to be a +1 for the Valkyries summer social event. Now, I am not a season ticket holder, but my friend's +1 could not make it, and she hit me up at the last minute. I mean, she gave me a heads up the night before, but I told her I was going through a dental emergency and I'm having my procedure tomorrow. And if I'm good in the evening, I can go. But then my appointment got moved to the evening, so I told her I definitely can't go. But she said if I still want to go, the ticket is mine. Just meet her at the front. Boom, boom, bap. They have all these activations. I hope you can make it. I made it. I made it. Of course, I gave her the patch. I'm not a season ticket holder. I felt like I was amongst like this secret society because we got to watch the game at Valhalla. We got to be at Valhalla during an away game, and we watched the game. It was the Dallas game on the big screen, and we got the dub. Oh my gosh, like it was so cool to experience that, especially after having a week that I was just like feeling so challenged by, and just lately feeling like, gosh, like, is anything working? Like, it's like little things like this, like getting invited to a game, like getting the giveaways, and just the fan experience that the Valkyries provide for all of us, whether you're a season ticket holder, standing room only, go to one game in your entire life. The experience is there, from your first game ever pin, certificate, to, merch, the affordable merch, the super expensive merch, like this, and just the overall community of it all, and like the crew, and like being recognized at games. It's just like, where am I? All from just talking on a camera. But that was also one of my intentions, is like, not necessarily to be recognized and looked at as like this public figure, but just to put myself out there, to be more social. I mean, not to tell you guys too much about my personal life. Maybe I will one day, but right now I won't. You gotta earn that. I went through a major friend breakup a couple of years ago, and some of our early tiffs were over how I started live streaming the games on social media. And I remember being so excited about the Valkyries becoming a team. This is before the Valkyries, they had just been announced. So I hadn't experienced any of this yet. I was I was reigniting my love for basketball, something that I had neglected for so long. And please go watch that video where I talk about this more in depth. But long story short, basketball was my heart growing up. And essentially, the game pretty much got ripped away from me. And I just put it on a shelf. I suppressed my love for the game, put it away, ignored it, kept it within, I kept it close enough, but when it came to the W, I pretty much just distanced myself from it entirely. And when I found it again and that love bursted through the surface and I started live streaming and I started building a following and I went to go share this good news with someone I called for over a decade and I'd known for almost 20 years at that point. No, I had known her for 20 years, but for at least a decade, we had grown to be best friends. In our group, we're all best friends. I was so excited to share this news. Like, oh my God, look, I'm growing a following. I'm live streaming these games, It's so cool. And she just like crapped all over it. She's like, well, it's, basically saying like, what happens quickly goes away quickly. And I was just stunned. I was pretty heartbroken when she said that, because I've always been the friend in our group. And this is a friend group breakup. This wasn't just a friend breakup. This is a group breakup. And I've always been the friend that's been very encouraging, very optimistic, like I mentioned earlier, very delusional, right? Just wanting the best for everyone. And when I expressed that, especially this being like a vulnerable thing for me, and social media being a passion of mine, and I finally got to a point where it's clicking, it's working. I'm finding my people. I don't know where her reaction came from. I never asked her about it. I just took it on the chin and kept it moving, because I didn't want to get too deep into it. I didn't want to be disappointed even more. And I think that's another reason what led to a lot of my, friendships dissolving from that group is I stayed quiet too long. I let the identity of being the cool, calm, collected one, in actuality, it was the passive one, the passive aggressive one at times, So I'm not saying I'm innocent in all this. All I'm saying is that 84 Hoops Crew was birthed because of that negative conversation I had with a friend I'm no longer friends with. So there's blessings in everything, guys. But when I say the community, the crew that is coming from this and being recognized, I now look at friendship totally different, because I have now been able to reestablish my relationship with my best friend that I go to the games with, who is a season ticket holder with her family. Not realizing that we had this in common this whole entire time. I've known her for 20 plus years. We've talked about sports. I've been to her kids' sports games. I've gone to games where she's the coach, her sister's the coach, her husband's the coach. But not once did we ever bring up the WNBA. We would do brackets together for March Madness. It was wild, but it wasn't until the Valkyries were birthed that we both just fell in love with this team and just the energy, what it delivers, what it produces, and what it's done for us and how it's brought us together. And she's the reason I was able to attend this event and why it felt like such a secret society, because I enjoyed myself. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to have gone. But part of me also felt like, oh, I didn't quite earn that one yet. Like that was like a good preview of what it can be in the future if and when I decide to become a member of the Guard, aka a season ticket holder. And yes, that would be an absolute dream for me. I would love to sit courtside one day at a Valkyries game or every game. I know there's a content creator that I follow, that I've been following for years, She's actually from the Bay, but she's based out in LA still, I think. Anyway, she owns 2 of those courtside seats, and they're not always filled. And I don't, personally, I'll be honest, I don't need to own season tickets the whole season. But if I can get to a point financially where I can afford those 2 tickets that are on the visiting team's side, but next to the broadcasting table, where the players check in, those 2 seats right there, if I can afford to buy them from her a couple of times, I'm pretty sure if I DM her and like spark up a conversation, I could make something happen. But I'm manifesting, so mark this moment in time in this video. I'm going to manifest that I'm going to sit courtside one of these games, and you guys are going to come with me on that journey, because I know it's close. I know it's going to happen. I don't know when. I don't know if it's going to be this season or next season, or maybe I start at Unrivaled. Maybe I start at a, college game, but I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to settle down on this. I'm not going to take my foot off the gas until I sit courtside multiple times, but we got to get that one first at a Golden State Valkyries game, because I see it. I know it's going to happen. I know it, but I'm the type that I feel like I need to earn these things as well. So when I was able to go to this summer social event with all these season ticket holders, I was just like, whoa, this is a different level of living that I need to work towards, whether it's through content, through my business that generates my income and my livelihood. I've been self-employed for 8+ years, and the fact that now this iteration of my life is occurring. I've always wanted to work in the sports industry and the music industry. A few years ago, I used to promote events for DJs, parties here in San Francisco. I built up a decent following and met a lot of cool people in that era of my life, in my 20s and early 30s. So I could confidently say that the music industry part of me is a check, right? But now sports, from being an athlete, not at any, D1 level, not even D3, just community college and rec league level. But I understand the mode and the mindset of an athlete. And I always thought I would be in the business aspect of either sports, music, just always in business, right? And now that I'm creating content, possibly merch, I'm starting to see where the business part of this is starting to come into fruition. And I love creating these vlogs. I love creating these videos. I love meeting you guys in person. I just met another content creator, Angelina. She's a Valkyries fan. To me, she's like the number 1 Valks fan, because she gets to meet the players. She works at a store here in the Bay Area where they do signings. She goes to all the signings, and it's just so cool. Even when I went to the signing for Kayla Thornton, meeting people there and them actually recognizing me, and it's just like, it's surreal. And it just goes to show that when you're true to yourself, or you're authentic to yourself and what you feel in your heart, you are being pulled to do, even when it doesn't make sense, literally and figuratively. If it doesn't make you money right away, but you feel a calling to do it, give it a try and just keep at it for several days, several attempts. Because at some point you're going to leave this house and people are going to recognize you, or people are going to talk about it, whether it's your friends, your family, strangers. God willing, it's good things, but I can't control the negative. So I'm just staying grounded in my faith in God and just trusting this whole process. And so far, so good. And it's go season. It's go time. Playoffs are around the corner. I think the Valkyries only have 3 games that they need to win in order to clinch a spot in the playoffs. I'm not 100% sure. And follow me, subscribe here on YouTube. My main platforms are here on YouTube, Threads, and TikTok. I post a little bit on Instagram, but not that much, so I'm not that active there. But if you want to follow, I'm gonna have to figure out how I want to use Instagram. Right now I just go on there because a lot of the platforms, a lot of the teams post to Instagram first. Like, I'll get my updates from Instagram and or Threads first before the WNBA website or app, which I think is crazy. Okay, like, I didn't know about KP being traded until I saw it on Threads. It wasn't on the website, it wasn't in the transactions page. So although I'm not active on Instagram, I am still there on occasion, but I'm most frequently here on YouTube, Threads, and then TikTok, of course. So I record all my shorts on TikTok and then repurpose them here on YouTube. But the Valkyries right now are in second place. We play the Chicago Sky, not tomorrow. Oh yeah, tomorrow, because it's already Tuesday. Then Dallas again, and then Minnesota, Chicago again, and then Minnesota. So we have a tough schedule ahead of us. And like I said in all my videos, this is playoff level basketball. There are no easy games. Even Seattle won tonight and beat Chicago. Seattle has been eliminated from the playoffs. They have no chance of getting into the playoffs, unfortunately. But they're still winning. So you never know who's going to go on a tear at the very end. I just pray and hope that the Valkyries can maintain the work that they're putting in now, consistently improving, sticking to the plan, and keeping that chemistry strong. And as fans, just enjoy each and every game, have fun, and go Valks. I have a trading card, guys. What in the heck? How cool is that? So in the back, it says Valkyries Summer Social with 2026 season, the Guard. So again, I'm not a part of the Guard, but I'm grateful that this was this is one of the coolest giveaways I ever gotten thus far. How cool is that? All right. And I'm glad I went home, and this is straight from the dentist. I just got surgery. I had just gotten home. Let me see if I could find an angle. I had just gotten surgery in this photo 2 hours prior to this photo being taken. I had just gotten oral surgery. Okay, guys? My mouth was numb. But I showed up and showed out for my Valks. And I'm grateful for the invitation. I'm grateful to have been included in such a, like I said, prestigious secret society event. And I think it was just a taste of what is ahead for my Valkyries experience. But stay tuned. Let me know if there are games that you are going to, and I'll let you guys know what games I'm going to be going to. Maybe we could do like a mini meetup. If you're going to any games on the road, I would love, love, love to travel with the Valkyries. Let's see what games they have left. So upcoming games. So we're home for the next week. Yeah. Actually, the rest almost, we're home. Oh, no. Sorry. Let me backtrack. We're home for the next week, so I can just chill. Then we play in Chicago, August 21st, Minnesota, Connecticut, and New York. Oh, and then Portland. Then we're back home. Oh, well, then there's the break, the FIBA World Cup break from August, basically September 1st through the 17th. Then we're back on the 18th. But is there an away game I could go to between Chicago, Minnesota, Connecticut, New York, Portland, Los Angeles Sparks? See, I've been to Portland 1,000,001 times, and that's a city I do not feel the need to return to. But that is the most realistic game I could, afford to go to. And it's quick enough to where I could just go to the game, maybe catch a red eye back home. New York is an experience I want to have, Connecticut, I feel like should happen only because it's their last season in Connecticut at that stadium, at Mohegan Sun Arena. But where the heck is Uncasville, Connecticut? Like, how would I get there? And mind you, I'd be most likely taking these trips solo dolo and just meeting fans out there. Minnesota, I don't want to go to Minnesota. Chicago is one of my favorite cities in the entire world. In the United States, top 3. Number 1 being San Francisco. Number 2, New Orleans. Oh, if New Orleans had a team, I might be a season ticket holder for that team if New Orleans got a team. Chicago and then New York. Wait, San Francisco, New Orleans, Chicago, New York are my top 4. Do I have a top 5 city? San Diego. I love San Diego. I love San Diego. But it's like bittersweet that the second season of the Valkyries is coming to a close. You know, I'm still optimistic for this playoff run that is approaching, but we got to make the playoffs first. So let's clinch. Let's get this season going. Minnesota, we play them next week. That's going to be a tough game. And we shall see. A lot of games still to play, but let me know what you think of the Valkyries so far. How are we doing? And shout out to Valhalla. We survived the blue court, guys. We're coming together. I love it. I'm going to wrap this up. Now I'm rambling, but it's your girl Lils, aka Lily Like the Flower. If you ever see me at a Valkyries game, feel free to stop me, say hello. I want to say hello to you guys, and send me a DM, say hi, let's take a photo, let's flick it up, post it, tag me, do all that good stuff. Don't be afraid to come up to me, say hi, tap me on the shoulder, be gentle, be nice, okay? But you can say 84, you can say Lils or Lily, whatever pops in your head. I usually will wear something, like I wore this with my 84 Hoops Crew Valkyries jersey the last game, so that's usually like an obvious identifier. But even if you see me out in the streets, just throw your V's up, all right? V's up in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Go Valks. And like I said, V's up. And before you go, make sure you subscribe and watch any of these videos here to stay in touch with me and what I have going on, especially the vlog I have about the 30-year anniversary.